What's your name?
Hi, I'm Todd.
Hey, Todd.
Hi. I've had a lot of problems with depression for a long time. I'm wondering if you can divine anything from a past life that is kind of causing a blockage or something that maybe I need to work through this, or is it just like a chemical imbalance that I'm just kind of...
Even if it's a chemical imbalance, it could be that chemical imbalance was planned to help you realize a past life. So I'm a belt and suspenders kind of girl. It's both and, not either or. Artist life. Artist life in Spain, probably around the time of El Greco. He was able to paint his way out of the grief and the suffering that he saw. You couldn't. You were someone who was supposed to go into the Jesuit order. You were too sensitive and too much out there. You would have been great as a 14th century female mystic, but the Jesuits wanted you sharp-minded and ready to go and take over the world, and you were too sensitive. So you spent your life actually pottery, and you would especially make it for funerals. And it is as if you were working the souls of the dead into these pots for the families. And unfortunately, you didn't learn then how to let go of the grief. Mm-hmm. Okay? We're supposed to be right through. We don't hold it. So what I'm telling you now is sensitivity is fabulous, but in this world, there's also a lot of joy, especially since sensitivity and psychic work doesn't have to be under the rug the way it used to. So thank the sensitivity for what it gives you, but use it for healing, not just for hurting.
Very interesting. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I always think it's weird that you can be, a woman in your past life. Your sex changes. Isn't that pretty strange?
John, that's how we learn. Mm-hmm. We have to be both
Who
things.
Else has questions? Okay. Anybody over here? Okay. Go to this row. Stand on up. What's your name?
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hello. I want to know what happened in a prior life that the brother that I have in this life is still causing issues. I'm sure that we were some kind of a relationship in the past.
Your brother was in, I'm seeing it in England, late 19th century. He was in Bedlam, basically, the insane asylum then. You were a very, very wealthy family, and this was terribly embarrassing. So you behaved like he did not exist. And in a sense, now that he knows you can no longer just hide him, he's getting his stuff out now. He's one of those people that I say we can either have a gut course life where it's nice and easy, or we can choose the really rough stuff, and that's double major plus lab, but we're going to graduate either way. He's in the double major plus lab sort of thing. So what I would recommend to you, don't take any of it personally. It's just his experiment, and you can sit there, you can be kind, but you do not have to be in the roadway. Like, remember in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? You don't have to do that. You can step aside, but leave him where he needs to go for his crazies. It's not yours to judge. Make sense?
I think it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who else has questions? Okay, all the way in the back, excuse me. Stand on up, whoever it was. Stand up. Okay, what's your name?
Sally.
Hi, Sally.
Hi. I have a question. I think it relates more to the cards. How can I help my husband make a career change? Not do the work for him, but help him, and he is willing to.
Love it. Fair warning, my left brain old executive recruiter is probably going to be squawking at me here. I'm going to do what I call a lightning reading. I'm going to pull a couple of cards. Number one, your card, Hanged Man, says you need to look at the situation from a different perspective, and it's a short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. Some of your stuff is going to have to go on the back burner in order to get him where he needs to go. Your husband's card, what's his name?
Gary.
Gary's card, Seven of Pentacles, slow growth but deep roots. Part of his problem is he wants it right away, but that's kind of like trying to climb Everest in sneakers. He's not getting a grip. Think of it more like golf cleats. It takes longer to climb up, but you don't lose any ground. Right? So he's got to have the patience. 6. 6 of Cups is the kids card. Both of you have to enter this like your kids going into a brand new school and you're so excited and it's all wonderful. Now, here are the 3 keys that he's going to need to bring into interviews and looking for the job. Number 1, full spectrum. A full spectrum card says it's not just one thing that he needs to do. He needs to show absolutely everything that he's good at. He's also going to need to learn about transferable skills. I did this in my old job. Your job is not quite the same, but I can take these skills and move it over. Second thing that he needs to do, remember harmony, there are 3 hands. The him hand, the company hand, and the us hand. He needs to learn to play with the company, not just come in and say, well, this is the way I'm going to do it. He has to move into the family. And third card, patience, please. That's like the slow growth and deep roots. Okay? It will take him a little time to fit in and to find the job that he wants. But, yeah, you guys are not going to be doing the tin cup and pencils number anytime soon. You're safe.
Thank you.
So tell your husband and get some patience.
I think we both need patience.
Who else has a question? Okay, stand up.
Hi, I'm Debbie, and I feel like I've been in a personal and a professional rut lately, and I was just wondering if you have any advice.
When we're in a personal or professional rut, that is generally because the universe wants us to make some changes, and we're like the little Matchbox Mustang that keeps whacking into the floorboards and can't find the road. What I'm going to tell you is you're in the roller coaster. Whee! Roller coaster, no brakes, take your hands off. Every time something looks like a challenge, you immediately say, how can I play with this? What can I do? Because if I had not been, true story, fired from my last job, I never would have taken the big jump earlier than I wanted to do this work. And trust me, I should be doing this, not that. So everything is on the table. Everything is up for grabs. And the last thing I'm going to tell you is you need to find your sentence of passion. It's not who you are or what you do or even how you do it. It's the vapor trail. It's what you want to leave behind in the world that says, I was here. Find that, and you will find the excitement in your job or the new job that will give that to you.
Can you give me a direction as to the path, like not necessarily
What
the
is
field,
it?
but
What do you do now?
right now I'm an executive assistant and office manager.
You're the power behind the throne. Get it real. Okay. What I'm going to tell you is if you cannot make changes where you are, take your skills and go put it behind something that you love. For instance, if you belong to FIDA and you were a vegetarian, why were you working for Golub's in the meat department at Price Chopper? So find what you love and immediately go find companies that need you. Don't wait for a job to come open and say, hello, you really need me, here's my resume, I'm calling you next week to talk. That excites them. That tells them, we want to talk to her, she's got the goods.
So
and
go
you
ask
will get
them what
excited.
you want.
And I want to. Actually, I'm thinking of a change, but I don't know into what, but something nonprofit.
Good
And-
girl.
But I have no clue.
Afterwards, you want, we'll talk, we'll have coffee.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you. Who else has a question for Corbie? Okay, stand up. What's your name?
Dawn.
Hi, Dawn. What would you like to ask?
I've had this dream a couple of times where I'm choking. I feel like I'm choking to death. And actually when I'm, awake or whatever, I really don't like to eat hard candy either.
Okay.
Ooh, that must be a scary dream.
It is. It's very, very scary, and I'm always happy when I wake up and I'm not choking to death.
Wow.
Okay, here you go.
And I bet that sort of dream you sort of wake up at the most pivotal moment.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here you
Corbie?
go. You were one of the suffragettes in the early 20th century of America, and they went on hunger strikes a lot, and they force-fed you. They would literally do the funnel in the mouth or tubes down the throat, and they were not careful, and they choked you to death.
Oh.
So the hard candy that you're feeling is actually the tubing in your windpipe. We have the vote. It's not going to happen again. You can relax on it.
Wow. So that's something I bet you want to get over.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Does it make sense to you?
Actually, I kind of wondered, I had a great-grandmother who died shortly before I was born, and she had choked to death. I didn't know if I was her reincarnation or what.
No, she had her own stuff. This is what it was for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. And we're going to give out a gift certificate that Corbie has given us, and a lucky audience member gets a free one-on-one reading. This gentleman wants to ask a question before we do that. We'll
Yes,
take
of
one
course.
more. Stand on up. What's your name?
My name's Rick,
Hey, Rick.
and all my life I've had a fear of water. I mean, I spent 4 years in the Navy, a couple of years on destroyers, and a year in non-swimming, and never got over it. And I'm just curious if you have any insight into it.
For you, I'm seeing a Greek trireme. You were scared of water then, and your family insisted that you go into the naval area of Greece, and you did not honor the family. You basically disgraced the family. Every time you were not able to go out there, the old, with your shield or on it, you were under it. So this time you wanted to come back and say, I have to conquer this fear, and that's why you ended up in the Navy. Parallel life. Okay? You didn't drown in that one. You have to learn that drowning is not your thing. You'll probably do it again a third time when you finally realize water is my friend, not waiting to suck me down.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Everybody give Corbie a hand. She did a great job.